She's doing a write-up, and I don't think her or Nina Miskov liked me much. And she said, useful as an ashtray.
Something wonderful is happening to me.
Something Wonderful, a 1972 single for singer-songwriter Roger James. The song was written by Roger a few years previously, when he signed up with Donna Music and Chapter One record boss Les Reed in 1968. By that time, Roger had already been in the pop business for a decade, the full story of which is now on this RPM CD, which includes his Chapter One LP Riding Free, along with the singles, plus demos and bonus tracks. Here's Roger to tell this part of the story.
Well, how it came about that I was to record the album Riding Free with Mark Wirtz was that a chap I knew who was working for another chap called Les Reed, who everybody had sort of heard of because he wrote The Last Waltz and Delilah for Tom Jones and Engelbert and stuff. So he was the big boy at the time, but this chap called David Belf I got him the job at the Geltimore Club it's an Irish club in Cricklewood. And long story short, he said to me one day, look, why don't you come into the office? He said, I'm working for Les Reed. So I thought, that'd be good, I'll get my face around and show myself about, I was in the West End doing something. So this office was above Francis Day and Hunter. FD&H were a very big publishing company in those days, probably one of the biggest. And Les rented the offices on the first floor. So I went in one day, 11, 12 o'clock in the daytime, I can't remember what time it was, and we sort of waltzed up the steps and met Les, and Les said, look, I've heard some of your songs. And, David Belf must have given him some of my demos and told him about me. So he said, have you got anything else? So I said, yeah. So I brought him some songs, and one of them was a song called If You Say So. And he said, oh, I quite like that. He said, could you go in and make a demo? So he sent me along to the studio, and lo and behold, I had Elton John on backing vocals with the two of Tartar Lewis and the Southerners, they were called at the time. I think they later became the Flower Pot Men or something like that.
Silly girl, what you trying to prove? You're not fooling anyone.
And anyway, at that time, Les thought I'd be good, like I was a bit like Cat Stevens, singer-songwriter, guitar, vocals, and he wanted it very loose and just folky and country-ish. So he was working out with Alan Chew. Anyway, I was a bit starstruck when I met this chap called Mark Wirtz, because he had a record at #1 in the charts. So he's Grocer Jack. And I thought, oh yeah, Roger, this is Mark Wirtz. Hello, Roger. So he said, oh, he said, I've heard your stuff. He said, I'd like to do an album with you. So I was a bit taken aback. I said, oh, the big mighty Mark Wirtz, and I've already got Les Reed looking up to me songs, This is it, my lucky day. So anyway, he said, look, go away, go back to your bedsit in Earl's Court, 52 Erdley Crescent it was, and I always remember my phone number, it's Fremantle 9095, and my landlady was Maisie. But anyway, they were good old days, and I got into my bedsit, no drugs, no alcohol, didn't drink then anyway, and just sat there with a pen and a notebook, and I penned about 10 or 12 songs, and Mark Wirtz said, I want you to write an album. So I thought, well, that's an album, 10, 12 songs. So I got them to, and I didn't demo them because I didn't have anything to demo them on. So I just went into the office one day with my guitar and I played them to Mark, and he said, look, come round my flat. And I did the same thing round his flat. He lived in Chelsea, and I went round there. We park anywhere in those days, park outside, get out, get the guitar out, and go in. And Mark said, yeah, that's good. I like that. We put that on there. We put that on the Whistling Jack. Yeah, that's good. So we planned out the album. And he booked the studio. He liked a studio called Chapels, which is above Chapels Music Shop in Bond Street, London, and he just liked the sound there. So he booked all the top session musicians. I think I had the chap on keyboard from Yes, and the Pentangle drummer, and a few other guys who were good. And I was on guitar, playing away, a bit of lead here and there, a bit of rhythm. Martin Gershaw was on the other guitar, and we had a great time. And Mark said, okay, I think we've got, it's almost finished, so I'm going to bring in the Mike Sam Singers. So I thought, I've heard of them. Getting the works here. We spent about a week in the studio, and then he said, I'm going to put the Mike Sam Singers on. And he sped up a few tracks, and he slowed down a couple of tracks, which was a bit awkward because I was trying to sing in like a baritone type of voice, which is me, and I'm going up there. I said, I don't think I can get that top F sharp there. He said, well, go for it, have a go. But anyway, we got away with it, and I think that one of the real tracks I was worried about was The Return. Yeah, that was it, because it goes up, silly girl, what you trying to do? And of course he'd taken it up a couple of keys to quicken it up, and it was very difficult for my range to get up there. Anyway, we got away with it. They released it, and I think I had a write-up in the Melody Maker, and it was Annie, somebody who used to be on Radio 1, I can't remember her name. I was going to say Annie Lennox, but not, she was a DJ. And anyway, she was doing a write-up, and I don't think her or Nina Miskov liked me much. And she said, useful as an ashtray. So I thought, oh dear, she didn't like it. But okay, he made it a bit wishy-washy and all the strings and the big arrangement. I saw it more as in a lower key and a bit slower and more sort of country. And anyway, when we actually finished the album, and I put all the vocals on, because I put the vocals on most of them afterwards, so I didn't sing and play the guitar at the same time, which was what I preferred to do, but this was like the new way of doing it. You'd overdub your vocals and put a harmony on and all that sort of stuff. So we're having a bit of fun in the control room, and I was dubbing some vocals on, and then Mark said, okay, that's it. We'll keep that. We'll go with that. So I took it away, the tape that he gave me of the whole recording, and me and a chap called Doug Perry, who I wrote a couple of songs with, we went through each track and we marked down not enough acoustic guitar on this, too much brass on that, too Mike Sam Singers, too heavy on, and whatever. And I took it, and I took a big sheet there, and I said, Mark, this is what we reckon. And he said, I'm the producer. And I said, but I'm the artist. So it was like a stalemate, And then it didn't come out for a while. And some girls got up a petition and sent it in to Les Reed. And so, and it was going to be called Mirror, my album, at the beginning. I've got the original sleeve that they made for the album. And then after that, a chap called Johnny Worth, who wrote a load of songs for Adam Faith and everybody. It's what didn't he write rather than what did he write. And Johnny Worth said, I've got this song, I want you to record it. So I went into the studio with Les, and well, Les wasn't there at the beginning, but we recorded this song, and we did another song of mine called Loretta, and I was more happy with that, I think, than I was with Riding Free. Although it wasn't a bad song, I didn't mind the song. But anyway, they thought it was a good idea. He put the idea to Les Reed that they would change the title of my album from Mirror, after spending all that money on getting the finished product ready. That it was going to be called Riding Free, and it was going to be like a film soundtrack song. Which I didn't sing on the film, but a lot of people think I did for some reason or other, because I got it out of my album called Riding Free. But anyway, we all thought it was a good title, and probably a better title than Mirror, and well, that's how it came about. Really, that's the whole thing.
And the world never knew his name, but the chosen few know of his fame. Come join his company, riding free. He really got it on. He rode that sweet machine just like a song.
He felt her in his soul, but no one there could find him. He left those fools behind him with a feeling that they could not understand.